brutal truths about men that women learn too late. Hello, my name is Chengi. I am your dating and relationship expert here at the Black Swan Relationship Academy, where we teach you ladies how to present as a high value, high status, and high worth woman that high quality men find completely and utterly irresistible. If that is you, can I get an amen? Fantastic. So let's look at some of the things some brutal truths that we don't learn until much later. I was actually saying to a friend of mine the other day, it's so sad that we come to certain realizations, those of us that are actually blessed, who are lucky, who are fortunate, tends to come because many women never ever come to these conclusions. They double down on their foolishness and they become bitter and angry or end up in relationships that are just useless. But for those of us who at some point in our lives develop an understanding, usually we learn these things a little bit too late in the day. We learn these things after we have had our hearts broken. We learn these things after we've been disappointed. We learn these things a little tad bit too late in the day. And so I'm going to be teaching you and sharing with you at least 5. There are many other things that I'm going to be teaching you that we learn too late, that we don't know about men, that we should know about men. And I'm going to ask you to contain your emotions here, because getting emotional is very womanly and very feminine in its essence, but it is counterproductive when it comes to being in a position where we can strategically be with a man of high value. Knowing these things, this information is being given to you so that you can position yourself for I do with a quality man, not get into your feelings, because that's not going to help us, is it? No, it's not. All right, so number 1, a man will absolutely leave you up the river without a paddle. The British would say, leave you up the Swanee without a paddle. A man will, like a South African actress said, leave you in the desert without a cup of water. A man will absolutely, emotionally check out of the relationship. Men can check out of a relationship quite quickly and quite easily for reasons that we shall explore later. And when they do, they can manifest in the most detached, sometimes most cruel way. You have to understand that if a man was good and kind and sweet to you in the beginning, and now he's cruel and yelling and screaming and misbehaving, he has checked out. If you feel like you've been left up the river without a paddle, that's actually because he has checked out. But because there are obvious benefits, maybe sexual access, maybe a place to stay, maybe company on a weekend, maybe a bit of free therapy, he hasn't decided to walk away. But what you will experience is a deep sense of abandonment of your emotions. The House of Swans is the new portal for the Black Swan Relationship Academy. The House of Swans is where you will be able to completely access me and those of you who are serious, focused, and committed to your Black Swan journey. In the House of Swans, you will get access to many of the courses in the academy depending on your subscription level. But most importantly, you will get the exclusive courses I am creating only for the women in the House of Swans. So far, we've been talking about the power dynamics between men and women, sharing things that I will never share on public platforms, giving you insight so you understand how power flows between the masculine and the feminine. I'm also sharing about how to be completely and totally unforgettable in the bedroom, how to get a man to be completely and absolutely generous with you. And all you have to do to be a part of this elite society is to click the link in bio. And if you're watching this on Instagram, comment the word swans and a link will be sent to you. Love you lots. Number 2, it has been proven and shown through the studies, and I'm not going to give you a number because all the research have done their different studies and different numbers, but it's extremely high measures. If you fall ill, get diagnosed with cancer or something horrible where he's going to need to be the caretaker, most men will leave. Now, I've had many conversations with different friends as to why this would be. Ultimately, it comes down to him forfeiting sexual access in a situation where he is investing. Maybe he's the breadwinner, and maybe he contributes a lot of and now he has to be a caretaker and have no access to sex. This is a lot, but for sure it was in and around the sexuality. The fact that he can't be sexual with you and he does not want to take care. Men are not natural caretakers. I'm not making any excuses for them, but I do want you to know that your health and wellness is your responsibility. I want you to know that even the best of humans, men, will be tested. If anything were to happen to you, you must take the best care of yourself. You must start going to the gym. You must start eating properly. If you're going to choose to be in a relationship with a man, the chances of him leaving you are pretty high. Now, a man that will not leave you is a man who has high integrity, a man who lives by certain virtues and values, and most importantly, a man with a fear of God, a man who understands that he reports to a higher power. If this is not the case, then he has no incentive to actually stay. We have to understand something about the nature of men. They don't act out of the compulsion of love unless they are connected to love, which is the higher source. They act out of what it makes rational and logical sense. Being in a situation does not serve them, they have no reason to stay. Think about what you will. Get angry if you must. Throw a tantrum if you will. Get into your feelings about this. You're completely valid in feeling this way. But remember that the large majority of women will leave a man when he loses his job. So we can vilify men, but we also have to be realistic about our behavior as women, that we stay with conditions as well. And like I've always said on this channel, there is no such thing as unconditional love in relationships. The love that human beings give is conditional. What is important is that your conditions are met and that you take the best care of yourself. In the same way as I would say to a man, never lose your job. And if you do, find another one. Find a way out. Have multiple streams of income. So if one door closes, another one opens, because the female nature is to feel unloved, uncared for, unsafe, and to find the next safe harbor. So I would say to you, make sure you take the best care of yourself. You eat well, great nutrition, always check in with your checkouts. Just be that girl who takes her health into her own hands, and pray to God that if anything were to happen, the man you have chosen, you didn't choose him just because he was cute and had a nice job and a nice car and could take you to places, but you chose him because you knew that he was a man that was governed by a set of morals and values that are aligned with God and with yourself. I shall leave it there. Another thing that might get your knickers in a twist is to truly understand that for men, female emotions are very difficult for them to manage. Female emotionality is overloading for men. And so a man will ultimately fall in love with girl A because she's beautiful and kind and lovely, but maybe she has a hard time managing conflict. Maybe she doesn't know how to handle her anxieties, and sometimes they overspill and create drama in the relationship. He may see what is beautiful and wonderful about her, but if she starts to create that emotional chaos and he does not have the skill set that is taught to him by other men about how to be a vessel of containment, many men do not have this teaching or this skill or this ability to be a vessel of containment for the feminine chaos that will naturally come because we are feeling beings. He will ultimately leave her and choose girl B, who is sexy enough, because sex is a primary driver for men committing, who's sexy enough and causes him no real chaos. This is why we teach you ladies how to be high value. High value is essential in that it is about your emotional mastery, being able to communicate your needs, being able to feel what you feel, but able to navigate a relationship in a way that is safe, in a way that is steady. If you are not high value in the way that you move in the world, you will have a woman who is less than you be taken away. Now I've heard, oh, he will go for a weaker minded woman. Yeah, sometimes that is the case. Yes, he may want to go to a woman that will tolerate his cheating and his BS indefinitely because she has low self-esteem and low self-worth. But for the most part, quality men who are of sound mind, who have decent hearts and are genuinely looking for a connection and have actually something to offer, would actually go for the woman who is more likely to bring less chaos and less drama for the long term. And that is it, and that is all. They're busy, they're trying to make money, they're trying to establish themselves, and they just don't want to be drawn into consistent chaos. So understand that many women will lose out to a good man because you have not mastered your anger, your bitterness, your anxiety. You have not managed yourself, and you are hoping that he will see those amazing moments and count them. Unfortunately, as humans, we don't really measure people by the depth of their loyalty and the thousands of things they've done. We tend to go by the instant offense. We tend to make a decision for long term. With men, more so. If he sees that you have a chaos that he cannot manage, he is going to end up going for the girl that he least cared about. And this is what it is, whether we like it or not. Next point is disrespect is something I talk about a lot here at the Black Swan Relationship Academy. And you know me, when I talk about this, it's because I know it's going to be of service and of use to you. Ladies, I cannot emphasize this enough, especially if you are women that date at a higher level. When you date at a high level of men who have accomplished something in their lives, have something going on for themselves, they did that by working very hard, and they did that by earning respect through doing it. They do it so that they can be respected in the world and respect themselves. Disrespect. When we disrespect a man, he will absolutely check out. There is nothing that a quality man will hate more in a woman, find intolerable in a woman, than a woman who is disrespectful. This is why we have to be clear on what disrespect actually looks like. Some of us are just disrespectful on default. We're naturally disrespectful. The way that we move, the way that we act, the way the expressions on our face, the indignance, and the way that we handle men and even women around us is like a default. So when we're saying disrespect, we feel that, but I am respectful. But what does that even look like for you? Learning what disrespect is to a man, you will be surprised how many female things we do that mean nothing to us but are completely disrespectful to a masculine high value man. And you can ask any questions in the House of Swans where we can talk about that a little bit more, and I've got videos on this channel talking about what that looks like. But I find constantly that women just don't get it. And when the man starts to pull away and starts to go cold and is not interested anymore, we're like, all I said was we just had a fight. No, you disrespected him in that conflict. You said that thing in a way that was disrespectful, and he's not going to tolerate it. In the next video, we're going to talk about the things that men will tolerate, why men will tolerate disrespect from any woman. If you're a woman that dishes out disrespect to men, to anybody really, please understand that if a man is tolerating your disrespect, it is simply because he has ulterior motives for being present. So this is really important, and I cannot labor it enough, darlings. The next thing that you need to understand about men that we learn too late is that pleasing a man does not make him think that you are a great woman for going out of your way. He is going to think that he's a great man that inspired this action from you. He's not going to realize that you had to sacrifice, that you had to move mountains to do this wonderful, great thing. He's just going to think, I'm that guy. I'm that guy that women do crazy things for. I'm that guy that women buy things for. I'm that guy that women just cry over. I'm that guy that, he's genuinely going to believe he's a great guy. He's never going to believe that you are a great girl for doing this for him. And so many of us get caught up trying to prove we're a great girl by doing great things for a man. A masculine man is not built to be a receptor. When he receives something, it is usually as a reward. When he receives great things or kind things, it is usually as a result of being rewarded, appreciated for something he has done first, something he has won first. So it's not because they're arrogant and think they're just great people. It is because the masculine does not receive anything for nothing. Men are not given things for just being men, appreciated for existing as we are. They have to earn their right to things. And so when you give them things just because you want to prove that you are great, that message will not be received. So what you must understand is anything you give to a man must be in appreciation for something he's done for you, or must be as a reward to something great he has done. Otherwise, the best thing you can do for a masculine man is to be appreciative and receptive of the things that he does for you. If you want to learn more, of course, join us in the House of Swans. I look forward to seeing you on my next video. In the meantime, do take care of you. Love you lots. Bye-bye. If you've been listening to this broadcast, you feel that you identify with anything that I have said, I want you to know that we're not leaving you on your own. Actually, I have created a complimentary initial call with my coaches. You will be able from today onwards to call one of the coaches and have a conversation about the particular issue that is bothering you. This call is completely free. No obligation. It is our ministry and our service to you to make sure that we get to touch base with you, understand what's going on with you, and actually give you a moment to speak with a professional, maybe even for the first time in your life. But I don't know how long I'll be able to offer this to you, my darling swan. But whilst it is here and you're watching this video, please find the link below, or if you're on Instagram, comment help. Take care of you.